Today I'll show you how to play Recycle. It's a space survival game. There are two versions, full color and low in. I've already played the full colored one, so today I'll play low in one. To play the game, you will need a play sheet and a menu sheet. You also need a marker or a pencil and 4 D6 dice. In this game, you must survive for 75 days until the transport comes for you, or prepare and launch your shuttle. User interface. This is depot. These are depot counters for days and resources. Day counters. They are used to keep track of your turns, aka days. After each turn, mark 1 day off. Every 5 days, you have to use certain amount of resources, such as food and oxygen, to stay alive. Game difficulty increases over time, because at some point you will start losing sanity and radiation protection as well. Resource counters. They are used to keep track of your resources. When you lose one resource unit, you darken one on the counter accordingly. When you earn a resource, you circle one. Resources can also be stored right on the game field. It's called local storage. For example, this food plant currently stores 3 food units. Combined with 4 food in depot, it totals to 7 food available. When you have to lose 1 food unit, darken one in depot or in any food plant. It's up to you, but I recommend using local storage first. It's more convenient to see your last units in depot rather than on the field. Another important part of the game is using action points. You roll 3 D6 dice and pick 2 of them for action points. Then you allocate the chosen dice to 1 action each, or combine them to do 1 action. Then you roll another D6 die for accident check and combine it with the die you left during your first roll. Accidents usually consume your resources, but some of them can also be good if the die you left for the accident check had a big number. You will use action points, materials, and power to build new structures. Most of them allow you to produce resources in local storage, and some can give you power, radiation protection, and other points for the depot counters. These are the resource counters. Sanity, power, radiation, food, materials, and oxygen. Oxygen is not included in counters. Instead, we store oxygen locally on the hexes. Most of the other resources can be stored locally too. So locally means right on the hex. So first we roll 3 D6 dice and choose 2 of them for our actions. For example, I can choose 5 and 2, and I leave 1 for accidents. These are the actions, and after completing the actions, we roll another die to combine it with the one we left before for an accident check. It means that lower results make worse accidents. To make resources, we must build structures. All of them require action points. Most of them require materials, power, certain hex type, and more. Alright, let's begin. I'm playing on easy mode, means I have more initial materials in stock. 3, 5, 6. I choose 3 and 6 for actions. I use 3 action points and set up a recycler adjacent to separator. Recycler allows me to produce materials faster than separator does, but he has a capacity of 4, and it must be built in 2 steps. I also use 6 action points. Another die, I use my separator to salvage 2 materials. Each cost me 3 action points. Now I do my accident roll and I combine 5 and another 5 I left before. I scored 10 and according to the accidents table, it's a good one. I circle 1 food unit on the depot counter and mark 1 day counter. First day's finished. I got 3, 4, 4. I guess I'll use 3 action points and finish that recycler installation. And I use 4 to build a cryo tank. It will allow me to produce and store more oxygen. It cost me 4 action points, 1 material and 1 power. So I darken 1 material on my separator hex and I darken 1 power point in the depot. And I get 2 instant oxygen units according to cryo tank description and I draw them right on that cryo tank tile. I had an accident roll and I got 6. 4 plus 2. Food poisoning. Sanity and food. I darken both of these resources. Another day. I set up a separator. It has to be built on a trash hex. It's cheap, but it takes 3 steps to build. It's important to remember that the outer ring of hexes is locked at the beginning of the game until I build a roller. I use 3 action points to salvage 1 material on the outer separator hex. Accident roll 5 plus 4. Food minus 1. I mark it on the farm and I mark 1 day. I got 3, 6, 6. Well, since I don't have power, I will spend 6 action points to build a nuclear pod, which will give me 1 power. It cost me 5 action points and 3 materials. I draw a pod on the field and circle 1 power unit on the depot. I use my second die to use recycler 3 times and make 3 materials. And my accident roll is 9, another infection. Now my food plant is out of food, but I have more in depot. And I also can produce more food in this plant. Its capacity is 6. 2, 5, 6. I use 2 action points to recycle 1 material. And I use 6 action points to produce food 3 times on that plant hex. Accident roll, anxiety attacks, I lose sanity. And 5 days finished, we're losing regular 1 food and 1 oxygen. I have enough resources to build a roller and unlock the outer hexes. The outer ring contains a lot of trash hexes, craters and ice deposits required for certain buildings. I can also produce sanity on the rover hex. Accident roll 3 plus 3 and it's another infection. 2, 3, 6. I combined 2 and 3 and I build another nuclear pod to generate more power. One, 4, 5. I use 1 to set up a separator. I need 3 steps to build it. And I use 4 to produce 2 sanity on the dig site. And this hex is now completed, meaning that full capacity reached. And when a dig site is completed, it provides a free depot sanity unit, which is better than local sanity units because you get closer to new tech. Accident 10. Nice one. 155. I build separator and I use 5 to study, meaning I get 1 sanity. Accident 7. 122. I start another separator and I produce an oxygen point. Accident 7. Your main task is to balance between depleting resources. Allocate action points wisely, minimize accidents, and plan at least 2 steps ahead.